Social media today has a lot of influence on human resources. Technology has changed dramatically, but one thing that hasn't changed, and is still one of the biggest concerns from when the internet first launched to today, is privacy and surveillance. Currently, the most popular way social media is being consumed by HR is by recruiters and hiring managers. 90% of US recruiters use social media as a tool and base some of their decisions on what they find. Statistics show that about 65% of candidates have been turned away for their use of marijuana on social media. 46% of candidates have been turned away for their use of alcohol consumption on social media. And surprisingly, something that most people probably aren't even aware of, is that 24% of candidates were actually turned away because of their grammar and spelling mistakes on their social media. But maybe there are more ways to use this strategy of monitoring people. We should take a similar approach and monitor current employees, not to fire them, but to understand them and their levels of satisfaction and dissatisfaction with the company. I think we've all come to the same conclusion by now, that nothing online is truly private. And if someone needs information, and it has been exposed at least once online, they will find it. We live in a participatory culture in which members of the public take active part in the creation and the consumption of their cultural products and are often expected to share them widely and freely. Social media has become an outlet for people to share their thoughts and their feelings to a community which can feel some compassion to them or, in the very least, entertain their complaints. Employees rant about their happy days and their bad days. When something happens to them, and it only affects them, the information stays more private and reserved, usually among the social network that they have created for themselves. If HR were to monitor its employees, they could evaluate these bad days to see how they can create a better workplace and also observe the good days to see what its employees like. Social media does, however, still have the chance that even the smallest complaint can spread like wildfire. HR needs to closely watch their employees' activity because they do not want the company reputation to be ruined by employee dissatisfaction and backlash on social media. Today, customers value the way companies, especially corporate companies, treat their employees, and they will not support places which fail to treat people properly. This happens more so when an event occurs that affects a larger population. Take, for example, Uber. The scandal that went viral on Twitter via the hashtag #DeleteUber. According to Fortune magazine, the outrage was sparked by a blog post in which a former employee detailed the sexual harassment she allegedly experienced at the company. Susan J. Fowler, an ex-Uber engineer, says she was propositioned by her manager and that human resources refused to act on her complaint, saying that it was a first offense and they didn't want to damage the career of a high performer. In the end, as HR people, we need to see what is happening on social media networks. Airlines, for example, respond to customer complaints on Twitter immediately, and they take note as soon as the problem happens. If HR can trap the problem fast and resolve it, the huge debate will not spread around. When people hear negative things about a company, they do not want to support it, and it could impact the number of people who want to work for a company and apply for jobs. By monitoring closely what employees are saying, you're listening to their needs and their experiences. And if something extremely bad happens, you have the chance to know right away, resolve the problem, and lessen the damage that bad media could cause on a company's reputation.